call to order the City of Douglasville City Council regular meeting for tonight, which is Monday, May the 1st, 2023. We apologize for being a little bit late. We had the State of the City activities, festivities, and ran over a little bit, so we apologize. But we'll ask, please, if Ms. Emily Hardaway, our Community Outreach Coordinator, will come forward and do our invocation, and after that, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance by the Mayor Pro Tem Terry Miller, Council Member.
Let's pray. For this day that you've given us, and thank you for the beautiful weather that we've had today, Lord. I just ask that you please be with our mayor and council, Lord. Thank you for their willingness to serve their community. Please be with them tonight as they vote to vote on the direction to take our city. Give them wisdom and discernment. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, for leading us in the pledge, and Ms. Emily. We appreciate the prayers and the invocation. I will go over the announcements. We do not have any presentations this evening, so I'll go over the protocol for the meeting, and then we can get into the body of the meeting. I'd like to welcome you to the Douglasville City Council. My name is Rochelle Robinson. I'm Mayor of the City of Douglasville. This is a regular voting meeting. It'll go a little differently if you attended the meeting on last Thursday, the work session. This meeting will go a little differently as we will vote on the items that were discussed, and unless you have new information to bring forward, we ask that you would not repeat the information that was presented. The agenda items will be handled in the following manner. The committee chairperson will read the agenda item. Then the person representing that agenda item or applicant will make his or her presentation. Myself and council members, if there's new information, we may ask more questions. As it was on this past weekend, if it's a public hearing, you have 20 minutes for those in favor, 20 minutes for those in opposition, and each person has 5 minutes to speak. Each person has one opportunity. Please, when you come forward, if you'd like to speak to us, fill out a speaker information card, and with your name and address, hand it to the city clerk, Ms. Vicki Acker, to my right. If you would like to speak to us during citizens and delegates comments, that's fine as well. You can come forward. You have 5 minutes to talk to us. And I will just ask if you have any electronic devices, if you would put those in silent mode or turn those social media and all of that off until after the meeting. If you come forward to speak, please give your name and address for the record. And that is typically it. So we'll move on with the agenda. And there are printed agendas outside, and or you can follow us on the screen. So the first agenda item is approval of the agenda. I'll open the floor for a motion to adoption of the regular meeting agenda for May 1st, 2023.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second? Thank you, Councilman Adams. It's been properly moved in second to adopt item 23-130, which is the regular meeting agenda for tonight, May 1st, 2023. Do we have any comments, concerns, or questions from council? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The agenda is adopted. Now we'll move on to item 6. I open the floor for a motion to approve the minutes of the April 13th, 2023 legislative work session and minutes of the April 17th, 2023 regular meeting. Open the floor for a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. I have a motion to approve the minutes. Is there a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. It's been probably moved in second to approve the minutes of April 13th and the 17th. Do we have any concerns, comments, questions from council members? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The minutes are approved. We'll move then to the consent agenda. I will open the floor for a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman Adams. We have a motion to approve the consent agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved in second to approve the consent agenda as presented. Do we have any corrections, concerns, or comments from council members?
Madam Mayor, just my voting, my ability to vote
Oh, it's not, it's,
has not come up on the screen yet.
okay.
Mine was doing the same, something similar. Now
We
it's
have
up.
some technology.
Mine came up now.
I think it's my mic.
I mean, I've voted, but just haven't been able to do it up here.
Does your voting come up now, Councilman? No. Voting has not come up. So we'll just do hand, or we'll just say aye, and if there's a nay, then Ms. Acker, if you don't receive it, then we'll have a hand vote done. So all those in favor of approving the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The consent agenda is unanimously approved. We'll move on then to our next committee, which is Economic Development Committee. That's chaired by Mayor Pro Tem Terry Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business under the Economic Development Committee at this time.
Thank you so much, Councilman Miller. We'll move on then to Finance Committee, chaired by Councilmember Mark Adams.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Finance has no business tonight.
Thank you so much, Councilman Adams. Housing and Community Affairs Committee, chaired by Councilmember Dr. LaShawn Danley. No problem.
Thank you. I didn't have my microphone on. We have no business tonight under housing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Legislative and Intergovernmental Committee, chaired by Councilmember Samuel Davis.
Yes, I have one item, Madam Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Item A, adopt a resolution eliminating direct involvement by the city of Douglasville, elected official in planning, logic, and implementing of city-sponsored special events. Ms. Miranda?
Okay,
Good evening, Councilman Davis.
good evening.
I don't have any new information on this item, but I'm happy to answer any questions that council may have.
Okay, any questions from the mayor and council? If not, I make a motion we approve number 23-146.
Thank you. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 23-146 from the council to eliminate direct involvement of the city with elected officials in planning the logistics and implementation of city-sponsored special events. Do we have any comments, concerns, or questions as it relates to this item? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 23-146 is unanimously approved.
That's all I have, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Davis. We'll move on then to Personnel and Organization Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Chris Watts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight in personnel and organization.
Thank you so much, Councilman Watts. Planning and Development Committee, chaired by Councilmember Mark Adams.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We
You're
have one
welcome.
item.
Yes, sir.
Refer to the Planning Commission a proposed ordinance to amend Article 4 of the Unified Development Ordinance to add 4.10 and amend subsection 2.02C for a town center mixed-use zoning classification. Ms. Marissa Jackson presented this to us on Thursday. Ms. Jackson, did you have any additional information to add?
Yes, sir. Marissa Jackson, Planning and Zoning Administrator, 6701 Church Street, Douglasville, Georgia, 30134. There have been two updates since our meeting on Thursday. The first one is that the Town Center Mixed-Use Ordinance will tentatively be heard by the Planning Commission on June 6th at 6 p.m. Additionally, after our discussion on Thursday, I revised the proposed zoning ordinance to only reflect what was currently allowed in the Unified Development Ordinance, as not all of the reference building materials were restricted.
And thank you, Ms. Jackson. And did we reduce the minimum acreage down to, was it 1 acre?
Yes, sir.
Just want to make sure that everyone remembered that we did have that discussion and decided that we would reduce it down to 1 acre. Questions, comments? Ms. Jackson's made a presentation on Thursday. She's given us additional information. Seeing none, then I make a motion that we approve this item 23-186.
Thank you so much, Councilman Adams. We have a motion to approve 23-186 by the chairman. Do we have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 23-186. Do we have any additional comments, concerns, or questions as relates to this item after the new presentation of information? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 23-186 is unanimously approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. That concludes Planning and Development's business tonight.
Thank you, sir. We'll move on then to Public Improvement and Beautification Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Nicole Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business this evening for public improvement and beautification.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll move on then to Public Relations Committee, chaired by Councilmember Howard Estes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The PR Committee has no business this evening.
Thank you, sir. We'll move on then to Public Safety Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Samuel Davis.
Yes, ma'am. I have one item, adopt
sir.
a resolution to update the City of Douglasville Entertainment Map District, and I took a good look at it, and looks good to me. If any council members, mayor and council, have any input?
Entertainment District.
Look at it
map.
real good. Okay. If not, I make a motion we approve 23-171.
Thank you so much, Councilman Davis. We have a motion to approve 23-171 by the chairman. Do we have any comments, concerns, or questions, or do we have a second, please?
So,
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. It's been properly moved in second to approve 23-171. Any further discussion? I don't hear any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 23-171 is unanimously approved.
Okay, moving right along to item B.
Uh-huh.
Amend section 10-18, the code of ordinance of the city of Douglasville for the purpose of exemption. Taste rooms, tap rooms, brew pubs, and other licensed pouring locations within the city of Douglasville Central Business District.
Mm-hmm.
And to change the zoning classification reference in subsection 10-18A4 from C and N to the update zoning classification NC,
Mm-hmm.
neighborhood commercial.
Okay.
Ms. Miranda, if you're,
Good evening once again. We
Good
do
evening.
have one update to the attachment on this item. On page 2, the map of the central business district is included. It was not previously included on Thursday night. And our community development department did prepare that map for us. Please feel free to ask any questions that you may have regarding that particular addition. Other than that, there are no additions to this item from the discussion in the staff report on Thursday night.
okay, mayor and council.
Yes, sir,
Councilman
Mr.
Adams?
Chairman. We have a question.
Okay, Madam Mayor.
It's by Councilman Adams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to make sure I'm clear in understanding what it is that we're trying to accomplish here, as I see that this does include or does not include the area where we are planning, where the town green now exists, and the area around it or behind it, which would be a future development area. Are we not going to include that as a means of allowing it in that area also? I thought that was one of the purposes of making this change, and I do not see that area included. Having said that, that means then that there, at least one of the items that we were trying to accomplish doesn't seem to be accomplished by this item. My second comment or question would be, in doing this exemption, we would be exempting tasting rooms, tap rooms, brew pubs, and other licensed pouring locations within the city's central business district. Is that present, or is that present and future?
Well, anything that is, should this amendment go forward, that would include everything that currently exists and then anything that were to come in the future. To answer your first question, so the central business district, as you can see on the map, it does not include the town green. But specifically listing out tasting rooms, tap rooms, brew pubs allows for those items to come in even if they are not actually located within the central business district.
Then that creates
and
another
to come in
issue.
and be exempt from those distance requirements.
That's not the way I understand it. That's the reason I asked the question. Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair, should Should we not be looking at including the town green as part of the central business district then? I mean, I know that's going to require a zoning change. I mean, what is it?
My understanding prior to this evening was that the central business district actually was a larger area of land.
So this map isn't.
That could require some changes to the language of the amendment itself, yes. And my recommendation, if that were the goal of council, to include the town green property in this particular exemption, which I think makes sense, would be to basically just say and other licensed pouring locations within the city of Douglasville Central Business District and Entertainment District.
Mr. Chairman, could I request that you table this item so staff can get these items handled?
Okay, Mayor and Council, I want to make a motion to table this item to next round of meetings so we can get the correct map redrawn and include all the other properties. Councilman,
Mr. Chairman, so any questions or comments that I may have had, I need to go ahead and wait until we're addressing this again in the next round?
yes, that'd be fine. Yes, it would help. Once you look at the map again.
I did have one question, though, that I need to ask now since some things are going to be looked at. The Loving Hands Ministry that's listed on this map, that's pretty close to where the town green's going to be, and I'm sure that's one of the things that the ordinance will address as far as the 300, 600. That's the way I refer to it. And my question about the Loving Hands is that a place that has worship services, like a church, or is it a ministry?
It's a ministry. It's a ministry. It doesn't hold worship, but it is a ministry.
Okay.
Not anymore.
It's an organization.
Do they have the same, if the restrictions that are in place now, the 300, 600, would that apply to them? If they're not a place of worship, they're a ministry, but they don't have worship service?
Under the state statute, you have to have more than ownership or lease of a piece of property. The general test is that you have to have worship services on at least a semi-regular basis. But bear in mind, the 300 and 600 prohibition basically only applies now to package stuff. The state law allows you to waive these distances for time to drink.
Right.
So, but there is a legitimate church on the corner of Church Street up there by the fire station. So, I mean, there's a church in the area, but I don't know, I have a little information about Loving Hands, but I don't think they would qualify as a church from what I've been told.
Okay. All right, well, I'll just reserve some of my questions and comments for when we bring this up again. I just had to ask that one.
Can I ask, what is the current zoning classification for the town green? Does anybody know what that is?
The zoning hasn't been changed since it was a jail. We have not changed the zoning, and that's part of the reason that we're doing what we're doing as far as referring the town center zoning to the planning commission, but it has not changed. We can have that identified and looked up for you, but I would assume it's a public zoning for the purposes of a jail being there.
It would seem to make sense if it's the will of council that would include that in the central business district. Would it not?
Well,
Talk in your mic.
It's on. I said that it would seem to make sense that we do include that in the central business district as part of our recommendation. Would council agree with me on that?
Yeah.
We'll bring some recommendations for you and verify what the central business district is and where it's located.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes, Councilman Davis, I want to ask staff, are the next meetings 11th and 15th or 18th and 22nd?
11:15.
Okay. Well, if you don't mind, Councilman Davis, include that in your motion. I know we have to table to a date. Will that give you all enough time, City Manager?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to table it to the 15th, 2023.
11th and 15th.
Where?
11th and 15th.
11 and 15, sorry about that.
That's okay. May.
No, May. May
You
11.
give 'em- You were giving them time,
Well, it's-
Councilman Watts.
You probably had too much to eat, but that's okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Councilman Davis. Mr. Chairman has tabled item 23-153 to the meetings of May 11th and 15th, 2023. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to table item 23-153 to the meetings of May 11th and 15th, 2023. Do we have any additional comments, questions, or concerns? We had great information brought forward to help us to be able to make this decision in next week. Okay, not seeing any. All those in favor of tabling this this agenda item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 20-153 is tabled to the meetings of 11th and 15th of May, 2023. That's all you have, Mr.
That's
Chairman?
all I have, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Recreation, Culture, and Tourism Committee, chaired by Councilmember Chris Watts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight in Recreation, Culture, and Tourism.
Thank you, sir. Technology Committee, chaired by Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, Councilmember Terry Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business under the Technology Committee at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. Transportation Committee, chaired by Councilmember Dr. LaShawn Verdanley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight under transportation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any other business to come before council? Yes, sir, Councilman Adams.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just
You're
want to
welcome.
take this opportunity to not leave out our finance department. I know when, in your State of the City address a little while ago, you made certain that certain department heads were singled out and acknowledged for all of their great work, and I'm thankful and proud that we have that, but we didn't give a round of applause to our finance department.
I
And
apologize.
it's not, I'm not saying anything was wrong, except that I think that
Boo-hoo.
we should, because of the great job that they have done in leading the city into the financial situation that we're in.
Yes, sir. Let's give him a hand. Well,
Thank you,
I'll
ma'am.
remember
That's all.
that for Thursday. I did say Finance Director,
Yes,
Ms.
ma'am, you did.
Callen,
You
and the
did.
staff, but we didn't give him a hand, and I'll
There you
make
go.
certain that I
Thank
give
you.
him a hand. Yes,
Thank
sir. It's like all children. You don't want anyone to feel like they were. Yes, thank you so much. He's a finance chair, so he's going to remember that. But thank you so much, Councilman Adams. Any other comments from any other business? You have something, Councilman Estes? Oh, I thought you were turning your microphone. Okay.
He's doing a podcast.
He's doing a podcast at the same time. Okay. We don't have anything under other business. Updates from city staff. Our city attorney, Mr. Joel Dotson.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Our staff attorney, Ms. Miranda Jordan.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Our chief of police, Dr. Sparks.
Yes, we have our basketball league going Friday from 6 to 8. Come by Jesse Davis Park, and we have some really good athletes out there, young athletes out there, and it's just part of our program is being one with the community. So we may look at starting something a little later. I don't know about the midnight part, but you know, we're gonna make sure that we're doing something for these kids, try to keep them off the street.
It's inside or outside, chief?
Inside,
I'm
air
a-
conditioned.
I can do some three-pointers, but I don't know if you have somebody
They
to,
got 'em out
okay?
there. Yeah.
But I don't want to get, Mayor Dickens went out there and played and broke his ankle.
To
So I
his
don't know.
ankle.
All right, thank you, chief.
Yes.
Madam Mayor,
Oh, yes, sir.
I just wanted to ask Chief, when are y'all going to do I know you had to postpone the bike
The
ride.
bike ride.
Yeah.
The bike ride is coming back. The Fall Festival.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we're gonna let you all ride in a little coolness here, it won't be so hot. But yes, we got it coming back, Councilman Watts.
How long? How
It's,
many?
what was it, like 30? 27 miles. About
Miles?
27, 28 miles, yes.
Not 27 minutes.
No.
I don't know. I don't know if I can hang for 27 miles. But okay, well, good. So it's coming back in Fall
Yes.
Festival. Very
Yes.
good. Thank you, chief. Our city manager.
Just that I asked for a brief executive session, and I will need legal counsel with us, just to stay for a few minutes.
Thank you so much, our city manager. Comments from citizens and delegates. Now, if you sustain the meeting and you'd like to speak to us, please come forward and give us your name and address for the record, and you have 5 minutes to address myself and council about anything germane to the city of Douglasville. Nothing, just our May baskets? Okay. Thank you so much. So we don't have any comments from citizens and delegates. I will open the floor for a motion to adjourn into executive session to discuss a property acquisition.
Motion to adjourn to executive session, Madam Mayor.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. We have a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, and seconded by Councilmember Estes to adjourn into executive session. Do we have all those in favor of adjourning to executive session to discuss property acquisition, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. We are adjourned into executive session after a brief recess to discuss property acquisition. This meeting is adjourned to executive session.